What's up, everyone? I have a special video for you guys today. You guys have been really good. I've been pushing out content like crazy and I've been pretty stagnant, but I kind of want to take a step forward and look like as forward as we can into next year and see what we could probably see with iOS 13. Now, we're still on iOS 12. The 12.1 it was released. I'm pretty sure 12.1.1 is coming out today. But really, with these last couple of versions of iOS, I think iOS 11 was pretty important in terms of redesign, but it was just full of bugs. With iOS 12, they really didn't change too much in terms of the what the phone looks like. I mean, they did a lot of changes, group notifications, things like that. But I feel like with iOS 13, and a lot of other people feel the same way, that they're going to do a redesign for the most part. They're going to change a lot of what the phone could possibly do. There's a couple things that I added in here that they could possibly add that I haven't really seen talked about, but for the most part, a lot of these things we could possibly see with iOS 13. Hopefully, I'm very hopeful about it. Again, like I said, iOS 12 wasn't a complete redesign. It wasn't that crazy in terms of changes. They were really trying to focus more so on fixing the bugs. And if you think about it, the design that we have now was pretty much added back in iOS 7. Now, things have changed. I'm not saying iOS 12 is iOS 7 or it looks like it. They look pretty different, but the same layout has been pretty consistent. Even going from the first iPhone to this iPhone, I think it's been pretty crazy. And I could possibly, this is just a rumor, okay? I have no way to back this up, but I could see Apple really trying to distinguish the iPad and the iPhone OS. So they both run iOS, but I could see Apple really trying to change like iOS like straight for iPhone and then iPad OS or something. I don't know. Just because iPads are getting way more sophisticated that they should probably make a whole separate OS version for the iPads. But the first thing I want to start off with iOS 13 that we could possibly see, this is 100%, guys. If I'm wrong about this, I will literally give every single person who watches this video 10 cents, okay? I'm pretty sure they're going to add a full dark mode, okay? Now, we do have like the smart invert or whatever, the dumbest thing. I don't know why they even did that like that, but I could see them doing a full dark mode. And the reason being is because they added dark mode into macOS Mojave. And a lot of people were complaining at the time, including me, like, why did they not add it in iOS? Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. They should have just added in with it. But guess what? The more devices that come out that are OLED, such as the iPhone 10, the 10s, the 10s Max, I'm pretty sure they're going to know and realize that, okay, maybe it's the best thing to do if we put dark mode in here now, so we can take all those power saving things that come with dark mode and put it in it. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. And that could possibly make people go to the more expensive phones like the 10s and 10s Max versus the 10R that has an IPS panel, because next year, apparently they're still going to keep the same type of layout. The three phones, the two more expensive ones and the cheaper budget one with the IPS panel. So if you think about it, I would rather have dark mode on an OLED panel than dark mode on an IPS panel. But that's kind of going into more details. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100%, I'll say like 99% positive that they are going to put a full dark mode in iOS 13, not like the smart invert thing we have now. Now, this is another minor one. I'm pretty sure they're going to add more control center toggles. We've already seen, I think there were a couple more added with iOS 12, but I feel like they're going to add some more with iOS 13. So one of them I would love to see, I would love this if they can put a location toggle in it. So pretty much it would allow us to turn on or off our location if we needed to. I feel like going into settings and then privacy and turning off the location, you might be thinking, why would you ever want to do that? Well, in some cases, location can take up a lot of battery, and it'd be really beneficial if you could just turn it off if you don't want to use it. And it's kind of like a privacy thing too, like sometimes I don't want my location on all the time. I don't want apps like being able to see where I'm at and things like that. So being able to turn it off would just be a little bit of an ease of mind. And Android does a really good job at it. It allows you just to turn it off through their status bar. And they've been doing that, I think, since like Android Lollipop or even before that. And Apple still has not pushed that out with iOS, but hopefully they can do that. And they could possibly add a toggle within the control center that can allow us to edit the Wi-Fi and like connect to other Wi-Fis straight through the control center without having to go through the settings page every single time. Android does the same thing, and I feel like if they're going to really revamp iOS, they might as well take some cues and notes from Android and really push them into iOS. I feel like that'd be really, really cool. Now, this is another minor one. I've seen a lot of people complaining about this, but overall, getting a better Siri layout, basically. So these are all mock-ups. These are not real. What I'm showing you on the screen, pretty much every single thing I'm going to show you on the screen after this, these are just renders by me. It could potentially be what we see, but it's just kind of like what I think what they could do. So pretty much making Siri not full screen. So if you think about it, like on macOS Mojave and all these, and just macOS in general, when you enable Siri, it just is like a little dialog box on the side. So you can still use your computer while you have Siri up. But on the iPhone, you actually have to literally hold down the power button, okay, whatever. And when you enable Siri, it pretty much covers the whole entire screen. And you really don't need to be like that. It does not need to be the whole entire screen. It does not need to take up that much space. Just because, what if you need to read something off, or you need to ask them what this is on Safari, and you hold it down and you can't even read what it is. That's kind of a minor example, but I feel like you just don't need that much space. Like, you can easily just have it just like how it is on Mac OS, where you hold it down and it just kind of like comes up to the top bar or somewhere like that. I feel like that'd be way more beneficial, and a lot more people would be, I would say a lot more people might even use Siri if it isn't so just like in your face all the time. And that's kind of a minor one too, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. They might improve Siri a little bit more, and just like the app in general. Now this next one, people have been complaining about it since like the first iPhone. It's a better volume indicator. I think they call it a HUD, but I'm not too sure. Pretty much when you up or down the volume, or increase or decrease or whatever, it literally just covers the whole entire screen. It's the most annoying thing ever, and it really didn't annoy me until like iOS 11. That's when people started complaining about it, and that's when I started complaining about it too. But it's just super weird. I don't know why they do it like that. I feel like they might as well take the approach that like Snapchat or Instagram did with like when you increase or decrease the volume of their Snapchat stories or whatever. It pretty much just like shows you on the top of the bar or the top of the app. It doesn't just like show up in your face. Like, it's so annoying. So I feel like Apple's going to eventually do it. I feel like they were waiting. I don't know what they were waiting for, but hopefully they change that with iOS 13. That'd be the greatest thing ever if they could do that. Now, this next thing is pretty out there, okay? I don't know if they're going to do it or not. If they did this, it would be literally the craziest thing ever, in my opinion. This is probably the one thing I would love to see. Now, on my Android devices, we used to have pulse notification light. So pretty much if you got a notification, there would be like an actual indicating light. Like, I had an HTC Inspire, and that thing would like blink if I had a notification. I would always look at it. Even my Nexus 4, it would like show a blue light, and like I was like so hyped because I don't have to pull out my phone all the time. I'd be able to see if I got a notification, and it was like really cool. But on iPhones, I mean, you never really had that capability because there was no notification light. I think you used to be able to turn the flashlight into like a notification light or something, I don't remember. But what I could see Apple doing with their OLED panels is putting a notification LED somewhat on the screen, something like an always on display, but not really, of just like your notifications. So I kind of made a render, and I've seen some jailbreak tweaks that do this, but nobody wants to jailbreak their phone to do this. Some people can't because they're on already the updated version. So having this in stock iOS would be awesome. So pretty much like if you get a text or you get a whatever, it'll just be pulsating like a blue or red or whatever light, so then you can actually like see like, oh, I got a text, let me open it, something like that. It doesn't have to be always on. It can just be like pulsing. And in the case where you have like more notifications, the circles would move over and like kind of pulsate like that. That's kind of what I thought they could do. Also, like maybe we could change the notification color. So if we get an email, it could be like red. If we get like a text, it can be blue or something like that. I don't know. That's kind of out there, but that'd be so cool. Like, that'd be the greatest thing ever if Apple did that. And like I said, they would only do it with OLED panels, and that would just be like one more reason for people to go and upgrade to the more expensive iPhones. Now, these next two things, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. It's kind of more so about the full redesign of the home screen and everything. Now, I could see them possibly putting widgets on the front screen. So now we already have widgets on the sidebar, but they really haven't changed the main screen, the home screen, that much at all. So maybe putting widgets like a search bar, or maybe even like Siri shortcuts on the homepage, I could see something like that going on. That'd be really cool. I feel like a lot of people would use that, but I don't see what else they could do with the home screen that would change it altogether. Maybe like locking icons and apps and stuff like that from other people using them, but I feel like I feel like they need to do something more than that, because people have been doing that for so many years. There's been jailbreak tweaks and everything. So I don't know what they're going to do in terms of the home screen, but I mean, I'm pretty excited to see what they do. Now, this next thing is something they're probably going to do on the iPads. I don't know if they're going to do it on the iPhones, but split screen apps. So we already have it on the iPad, okay? But on the iPhones, we do not have it. And I would probably imagine that it's something like the iPad split screen, but on the iPhone. So instead of going to landscape view, it would be like portrait. So something like you're seeing now, you can have like YouTube playing on the top and using Twitter on the bottom. You can swipe through and watch a video while you're on Twitter. And I feel like that'd be really, really cool. A lot of people would use that. I would definitely 100% use that all the time. That's like the greatest thing ever, because you can't really do two things at once on your phone yet. And I feel like once we are able to do that, our phones are going to be taken to the next level, in my opinion. Now, on the iPads, we are able to do that, but going one step further on the iPads, maybe having apps that can hover over other apps. So we already have split screen, like I said, but maybe if we're on like Safari and we need a calculator, maybe instead of doing the split screen, we can actually go drag a calculator on top of Safari and use a calculator that way. That's kind of what I'm imagining what could possibly happen. This doesn't even have to be exclusive to just the new iPad Pros. It could be with any iPad. because all of them support the gesture based like using and everything like that. So that could really like one up the iPad over every other tablet out there as well. I think Samsung tablets actually already allow that. So iPad is kind of behind if you think about it. So hopefully Apple kind of does that. And overall, I mean, to end it off, I'm pretty sure iOS 13 is going to use some things like this. This is not a full complete list of what we could see, but these are things that I think might happen based off all these leaks and rumors and stuff that we've seen in the past that haven't even been accomplished yet. I feel like iOS 13, they're going to add it. They're going to have to, because Apple really just isn't innovating as much, and people are starting to wake up and they're like, okay, yeah, like there's really no point in upgrading my phone. So there's a reason now if Apple puts these things in there for people to upgrade, and that's kind of important. And especially for them to increase their $1 trillion valuation and all those things. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this stuff is going to happen? If anything, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But that is pretty much it. Leave some comments down there, like I said. Let me know what you think, whether you think Apple's going to do some of these, whether you don't, whether you think Apple's going to do something else. Let me know in the comment section below. But hit that like button. That'll mean so much. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well, my Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel that is also linked down below. I do a lot more iOS comparisons, iPhone comparisons, this and that. I haven't posted a video on there forever, but I would really appreciate if you guys could check that out too. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.